Hina Bhatt here. We are at Milind Mulick studio. You can have a look at his setup. This is where he's kept his easel, his pad here, his colors, water, and his huge collection of brushes. So he's going to join us shortly, and I think I've already shared the reference photo today with you all, so you can have a look. It is a scene from Italy, and he's going to do that for us. So, and if maybe you can focus on his colors, and so maybe you can even see he's using assorted kinds of colors. He's having his Daniel Smith colors here, the whole range, and his palette. Luckily it is cleaned right now, and there he's ready here with us. And
oh, hi. We are already.
Yeah, we are live right now.
Live.
And so you can see how he's setting it up. He's made a small sketch also. That's the reference. And so we can, you want to say a few things?
Yes, I want to say a few things. What I want to say? Okay, I'll say a few things about Hina Bhatt Art Venture painting competition. So,
Okay.
I'm happy being a brand ambassador for this competition. And this is a very, very great opportunity. I mean, never has been such an activity has happened. I think anywhere in India or anywhere in the world. That there is a bunch of painting references, and so many artists are painting from that. And every day, a single individual, somebody gets a winner, somebody gets the prize. See, getting the prize is not an important part of this. Lot of artists working together at the same time from the same reference, that is the whole idea of coming together, sharing together. And then there are so many a times you see the single reference has been used by various artists in so many different ways. So it is a mutual learning for everybody. So that's about it.
Yeah, so I think we'll start now. We'll just do our setup. Give us a moment. I think this is fine.
Little on the right.
I hope you can see clearly now.
Everybody has to keep short, right?
We have lots of friends who've joined in right now.
Okay.
Hello everybody. Hina Mulick.
Hello, Nina.
Shekhar Chaudhary, Sumit Kulkarni.
Hi everyone.
Rick Gurung from Nepal also has joined us.
Oh, hi.
Meenu Nair.
Hi Milind. Hi Gorang.
Hello Vijay Mohan Bhatia ji. Happy to have you as a big fan. I think I already asked you last time the question. Your initial thumbnail is primarily done to rule out what you don't want, or is it just for judging the tones?
Judging the tones, judging the space division, and the moment I do the thumbnail, the brain or the process, I would say, gets free from mode of copying this.
Okay.
So if I don't do a thumbnail, it is usually an image which I am enlarging here, so my thinking goes into photocopier's mode.
Okay.
But if I do a thumbnail, the brain is freed and it has started thinking on its own whatever creative lines. So that's why this plays a very important role. I'm very happy. Nobody has so far asked me which paper, which color, which brushes am I using.
I think,
or do you have those questions?
I think
you already.
No, we showed them the your display, your setup, but of course we've not discussed the paper. But we all know that any paper given to you, you will do magic, so it's okay. Like if we see the overall color scheme of this subject which you've taken, it's all very muted kind of colors.
So we will use muted kind of colors.
You'll stick to that?
Yes, stick to that.
Okay. Everybody's still telling hello. Parul Bhagat.
The composition I am planning to change a bit. Usually I never use eraser. But today I am. Because
it's okay, you're breaking your own rules.
Yeah, no.
You like to break rules. In fact, there are no rules, correct?
Yeah, there are no rules. No, there is the anxiety of going live. My attention is diverted a bit.
I hope you heard that. He's saying he's anxious that he's live today. So everybody, even a master can think that way. So all of you should never be stressed if you are anxious. Correct?
Yeah. I mean, performance anxiety and disturbances from the surrounding. So if you're working in your house and the family members disturb you, your act. It is your act of painting. So,
Okay.
that is very conducive to the creative process.
Oh, so that's welcome, correct?
Yeah.
So you're diverted basically from giving undue attention to too many details.
Yeah. This is a bunch of crayons.
Yeah. Oil pastels, he's going to use a little bit of it. That's for giving some textures. I think I'm going to say this again, but Milind Mulick doesn't believe in being a purist.
Yes. In any area of life,
Now he's going to start his work, but if you all have any questions, I'm going to read out to him in between. So please feel free.
We have a good network here. Ah. Oh. Happy couple. 62 happy.
So we do have a question. Somebody is asking you which paper you are using.
So,
Sri Vidya Ravi. She's asking which paper you are using.
right now I'm using Arches.
I hope you heard that. He's using Archie's paper.
The colors I'm using are mostly Daniel Smith, except for one little white which I'm using PH Martin.
Alka Mora has joined and she's asking which brand color. Alka, he just mentioned that.
Paper is Arches, the color brand is Daniel Smith, and various brushes from Brustro, Raphael to Princeton to Chinese to Indian, so including my Brustro favorite collection, and the water is the tap water.
Alka is saying he is able to read my mind. But there are people I have heard who are very particular even about the water they use. We use normal tap water, but then there are people who kind of store rain water and only use that for their watercolor.
Oh, no. If that is from an environmental point of view, then I like it.
No, I don't think that's. They say that rainwater is a very soft, natural water and it's more conducive for watercolor painting.
Oh, really?
That's what I've read.
Oh,
I've never practiced that.
Okay, even I am not. But then if at all your painting fails,
It really doesn't matter.
no, never blame on paper or paint or brushes. Blame it on water.
Leave it on water. Not Rio. I'm saying not Rio.
Rio is one.
He's got it. Not
Blame it. No, not Rio. Blame it on Rio. मूवी होता है. Everybody is not as lucky as Michael Caine.
Huh?
Everybody is not as lucky as Michael Caine.
So as a ground rule for you it is mixing all the colors on the paper, correct? Or you mix them up even in your palette?
Both. I mean, this is not like a absolute thumb rule, but mixing color on the paper gives you a kind of vibrancy, which by mixing on the palette will not give you.
Because the colors today which you are using, like blue and brown, together they become
Grey, they will become grey, but there will be a
and
variation.
can also become very muddy and
Yeah, on the
it's quite challenging not to
Yes.
make it muddy.
yes.
Now we've discussed various subjects in the past, but this time I just want to ask you, like, which is the most common area where upcoming artists tend to fail, make mistakes? What makes a professional artist
Okay.
little, stand out?
See. First of all, professional artist has worked a lot, so he is not bothered about the technique anymore. Okay. So then his thinking and his brain is free to explore the creative areas. If you are still bothered with what paper, what colors, what paint, how to give wash, how to do that, technique stuff, not technical stuff. How the paint behaves on paper.
Yeah, you're still to identify all those things.
So
yeah.
professional is kind of free of that. So you have to reach that level where technique doesn't bother you anymore.
So where do these artists normally fail?
See, if you're talking about the
Like you've been also teaching, so
Yeah.
coming
So-
across many students and
So we'll leave the professional aside.
Yeah.
I will tell you about the leisure painters. Okay. So what happens is leisure painters have a limited time on hand. They are either painting on, okay. No, but fine. I can't show you my face. But leisure painters have limited time on hand, so either they are painting on Saturday, Sunday, or in the evening, or whenever.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens when you have a limited time on hand? Maybe you are a late starter. It doesn't matter whenever you start. But basically, they try to optimize their time and find out the shortcuts in the process. And in Saturday, Sunday, they want to do a painting which on Monday they should be happy that I have done some good painting. But it doesn't work that way. You have to go through the entire process of failure, experiments, making mistakes, and learning from that. So, fortunately, we are in a field where a performance and a practice is at the same time. So, if I am painting, I am performing. I mean, the painting turns out to be a good, it's a performance. It turns out to be a bad, it's a practice. But you should not compare yourself to perform all the time. Certain time has to be given to practice, in the sense without any objective of creating a good painting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the pressure of creating a good painting.
Yeah,
that makes
will
it fail.
Yeah, that hampers your process. So there is no shortcut. You have to.
So, like driving, you're saying the technique should just become
natural. Technique should become natural. Then the creative process comes. When will the technique become natural? After you do it 100 times. So every time you can't be. And this is not again driving. This is more of a creative input that you are giving, more than the technique. So you should be free of technique, and you should be free to explore your creativity in the best possible way. That will only happen when you are not attached with the result. So you are solving a mystery.
So we are going on a spiritual side. Not attached to the result. Just do your work.
Yeah, we will come back to.
But then I was asking from the point is, normally is it they goof up in the tones, or
see, they goof up in see, whatever they goof up in doesn't matter. They have to goof up to learn.
Correct.
Okay.
Nothing teaches better than your own mistakes.
So you're the only thing, the pressure they create on themselves, utilizing the time, is what is the area they should first understand and be free from.
There's a saying that you read in a book or you observed, you've learned a little, but you've done it yourself, made your mistakes, the learning is
more obviously
impressed, created an impression, correct? It's more an impression on the
simple
mind.
thing like doing a thumbnail.
Yeah.
It takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can do 2-3 thumbnails. So the more time you do on thumbnails, there are more chances your painting will turn out better. How, I don't know, but it is. But these people I've seen, I don't know, they don't do the thumbnail. They are in such a hurry to paint. And so these kind of simple things.
Do you ever start a painting without drawing?
Yes, many a times. I mean, it's a method also. Like you only see the tones. If it's a very complicated subject like many windows, many buildings, like Varanasi, temples, etc. So if you start drawing, then drawing is like you have to draw a closed polygon with a pencil. So that taxes your brain a lot if there are too many objects. So I will start with only washes and patches of color, and as I progress in the painting, the drawing comes into play while painting.
Are there any defined techniques of doing?
Doing what?
Painting in watercolor.
See, everything, whatever.
There's somebody asking, can you speak a little more about technique? So I was just wondering.
See, there is my book called as Watercolor Landscape Painting Step by Step, in which I have explained like washes, brushwork, glazing, wet and wet glazing. So these are all names given to the technique. Okay. And so you can practice the technique and be through with the technique.
But the skill, which technique to use when, that comes naturally after you practiced it.
After you practiced it. Yeah. I mean, there is an obvious logical.
Correct.
Glazing is done afterwards, where you build up. So second wash on a previous wash is called glazing. As simple as that. So I think tea time.
You tell me when you're taking a break. We
No,
have some question answers then.
We'll order the tea. The moment tea comes, we'll take a break. So before that, we can keep on.
In the meantime, y'all can have some questions ready. So when he takes a break, he may answer your questions. They're liking the effect of the oil pastels.
Oh, thank you. See, I mean, such a benefit of not being a purist.
Yeah. I mean, being a purist also is a pressure by itself, correct?
Yeah.
Because again, you're restricting yourself, or you, in the process, you know, I have to save this, I have to do this, I can't do this.
Yeah. See, I don't know where this idea of purist came from. All the great artists, none of them was a purist. Like John Singer Sargent was not purist. Hercules Barbizon used extensively white. Even Charles Smallville, all the great painters of the last century. So they were obviously experimenting.
I hope the audience is aware of the term purist. The purists believe that white cannot be used, pure black cannot be used. Then you cannot use any pens or oil pastels, or even for that matter, even gouache.
See, basically the idea of not using white and black was a very logical thing. Like there is no such thing as black in nature. Like black is absolutely, there is no light falling. So unless there is a hole in the painting, hole in the sense if there is a building and there is an open door and no light inside, so total dark, where the light, then it can be black. But when we use a black in the painting, it creates a hole in the painting. So not to use black as that sense. Diluted black doesn't look very good. Rather a mixed black looks better. So so paints like neutral tint, etc. So whenever, if I am using a direct black, I usually mix it with phthalo blue or burnt sienna to make it, to give it a shine of either a cool or a warm, a little. White obviously not used because white will contaminate the transparency.
Correct.
So these are very logical things. But once you know them, what damage they can create, you don't let them create the damage. You can use them for advantage whenever needed.
Yeah.
So being purist is not a wrong thing, but sticking to being purist is not necessary. Of course, if you are participating in some competitions like NWS or whatever that society, Transparent Watercolor Society of America, so then that's a rule. I mean,
Yeah, that's the rule of the organization. Yeah. So you have to follow, otherwise you don't participate.
Yeah. See, just because somebody said that, they say, that's a wrong way. Who are they? What place is this? San Gimi.
Yeah, it is. I find it difficult to pronounce it.
San Gimi.
Yeah.
Gimiano. Italy.
Italy.
Yeah. Somewhere in Tuscany.
But the place was very interesting.
Tuscany.
And the way they have maintained the whole place, it's amazing. This is very close to the place Chianti, where the most famous wines come from there.
Okay. Chianti.
And I think the gelato ice creams.
Okay, they come from Tuscany also.
And I think my memory of that place right now is I was having ice cream and I was also taking photographs.
Okay.
Ice cream was a bana to take a break and take pictures. Ashish Kumar is telling it's an honor, absolute pleasure to watch you paint, sir.
Thank you.
Your work never fails to inspire me.
Thanks a lot, Ashish.
Today, while you were going through the images, you like there were a couple of other images also I was showing, and then you said this is a better composition, and so you finalized on this one.
Yes.
So the composition is a criteria which makes you select.
It's not the composition of the photograph, but it's the possibility that I see in doing a painting. A photograph might be composed well or not well, doesn't matter. It should give me the information, and the moment you look at the photograph, you generally an image of a painting comes in your mind. Okay, this can be used this way.
Okay.
So possibility of composition seen in the photograph. So everyone will resonate differently. So I usually paint those pictures which have which inspire me with this possibility. If the photograph is very well composed, we'll say like a picture perfect photograph, which is an absolutely good photograph, it doesn't inspire me, because then I'm not adding my thing. Then it compels me to copy whatever interesting things has happened in the photograph. So it doesn't resonate with my experience. I mean, that happens with me sometimes. So not bad photographs, not the best of the photographs are better as a reference, as far as I am concerned.
Again, it gives you the freedom to manipulate and compose your own way, correct?
Yeah. So photograph is something like I want the information and the inspiration, of course, but then I choose that information, choose from that information.
Parul, the reference picture has already been shared on the page, on the group, so you can have a look at that. Yes, Babu Paul is saying, sir, I'm a big fan of yours.
Okay.
Or thank you for this opportunity. Yes, sir.
So if you join my weekend workshops or weekly classes, you will get this opportunity more often, but not for free that time.
Yeah, he has online classes also. So if anybody is interested, you can connect with him. and join his weekend batch?
No, weekend workshops.
You also have during the week, correct?
Yeah, there are some week batches and there are weekend workshops are the extensive workshops.
Okay.
The tea has arrived. So,
Friends, we are taking a small tea break. If you have any questions, you can write it. So, we're just going to pause, otherwise if there are no questions. There is Ashish Kumar, he is asking, are you planning to do any workshop in West Bengal offline? We both have been discussing Kolkata for quite some time.
yeah, sometime next year, in the sense next academic year. Not so soon.
So I'm just going to share a little close up right now. Can you see the texture created by the crayons? It's oil pastels, not actually, not wax crayons, oil pastels. And this is our reference. This is the reference image used for those who joined in late or who haven't seen the image on the group. And the palette as of now. Alka, for you, there are lots of brushes. I can't even read the names. So such a variety is there. You come and visit him personally. He will share all the brush details with you.
But there are some interesting brushes which called Panda brushes. Panda artist has produced them.
Okay. So I think
so
this is the
good.
one of the Panda brush, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also Camel has come up with good brushes. So, but Chinmay, being an artist himself, has done a very good job for artists fraternity. So they are all value for money.
Okay.
So we don't have to spend 18 times
Oh yeah.
on Raphael brushes actually.
See, this is a very good brush. You can see the excellent tip also. So this brush is by artist Chinmay Panda. So those who are already connected with him on Facebook, you can get in touch with him. Otherwise, if you can give some more information, we'll share later on the group. So we are starting our work again.
पेन जेल कुठलाही ते शोध स्केच पेन नसलेलं बॉल पेन किंवा जेल पेन नसलेलं स्केच पेन हां ठीक आहे
Ashish, I think you've joined in a little late. He's already shared a few details about the washes. But if you want him to share his thought process as you paint, what are the thoughts?
Oh, that I can't share with you. They're very personal thoughts.
You don't want to.
See, normally
The dark devil shouldn't be out, correct?
Yeah. See, normally when you paint, you are thinking from the right side of your brain. So there are no thoughts in verbal terms. What I am calculating is the shape, color, tones, the movement of shape, colors and tones, how the tones are blending into each other, where the dark has been placed so that the tones get balanced, and then obviously the details. So for you this is a window, for me this is a rectangle.
Correct.
So there are thinking in terms of non-verbal way is an artist's way, a visual artist's way. Words using language, but that's a parallel activity. Painting activity is about shapes, colors and tones.
Using different colored oil pastels is...
Yeah, now you see the effect of it.
Correct. In a dark area, that little bit of light popping up.
Popping up.
Friends, nothing can replace you experimenting things yourself to discover why what is done. Because you should have your own personal aha moment. Correct?
Yeah. See, there is no, I mean, every step has a reason behind it, but which makes no sense. I mean, it's a simple logical reason. You want to add dark to balance something, you add dark. How to balance the tones has to be your own aesthetic judgment. Or for more clarified, join my classes.
Yeah. If there are more doubts, you can clarify all those doubts when you join him in his art workshop. And maybe if you really want to know the dark devil, join his offline workshop.
Yeah.
Where is your next workshop upcoming, which is?
See, right now there is a Austria trip planned,
Okay.
but it's more of a some days a workshop, rest is all. After that, so nothing is planned so far for this season.
Yeah, but then monsoon, by monsoon?
Yeah, monsoon there. I mean, largely one Konkan or Panala, somewhere in closer vicinity might be planned. But nothing is planned at the moment. Will be planned.
I think living here in Pune, we have access to such beautiful places around, which they just come alive during monsoon.
So I think under the Hina Bhatt Art Venture, we can start these activities.
Outdoor trips.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. If you are up to it.
Traveling, वो तो मेरा
Yeah.
second life है.
Second life. No. Traveling alone. No.
Yeah, it is more of my me time kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah, but I don't mind. Let's see.
Taking a bunch of like-mindeds.
Yeah. There are so many beautiful places around. In fact, like I think I always when I leave a place, I feel I will revisit this place. But then some other places already, attracted me, and I always feel there are so many more places to see.
Well, this just gives me an idea. You had this physical event of portrait, self-portrait.
Correct.
So why not go for one of a plein air in Pune?
In Pune.
So
There is something very major being planned for
yeah,
all
must be. I mean,
the watercolor artists. Not only watercolor artists, but those who like to paint landscapes and Anil Sharma from Varanasi is telling Namaskar to you.
Namaskar, Anil. How are you?
Yeah, already people are asking, please organize plein air trips. How many would be really interested in going for a plein air trip with us? You can probably in Messenger message your name that or show interest that yes, I would be interested. Let's see. Raju is asking, how do you select colors to make even a mundane subject come alive like this?
How do I select colors? That's a secret recipe. First of all, this is not a mundane subject. The moment I look at it, why do you call it a mundane subject? This is a very exciting subject because there is a texture. Then there is architecture which is interesting. Texture is very interesting, and the colors which are like subdued, but there is a variation, enough variation for me. See, when you look at the photograph, it might look a bit dull. Okay, not so inspiring. If you have been to this place, you can recall the excitement of looking at such places, like textured historical stone. So, wood, brick and stone, any building in wood, brick and stone.
And I think that particular day when I reached there,
Yeah.
there was this mild drizzle.
Yeah. So even
So
if,
the wet floor, everything was very exciting. Getting these reflections.
See, on the other hand, there will be a sunshine and a shadow. That will be exciting.
Yeah, that is also
there is no such thing as a dull day. Every day is a.
I think even strong lights and shadows are beautiful. Even on a
overcast
wet day,
yeah.
but getting very nice and bright reflections. And I think one should paint in different seasons to know how light and the shadows work.
Yes.
Ashish Kumar is asking, do you allow people to visit your studio?
Yes, I do.
I think we should show them around right now how many people you have in your studio.
Right.
We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 of us. We are 7 of us right now at the studio. You know, I think your books, I literally grew into watercolor and all those things
Yeah.
with your books.
Yes.
I was fascinated because of your books.
Yes.
So, I mean, back then we didn't have internet and other things.
Yeah.
And for me, moving to Pune was like a blessing, like a dream come true. I think my initial days, I must have looked at your work and started to paint or watercolor, you know, trying to copy. तब प्लेन एयर उतना नहीं करती थी, फिर बाद में it was different, but
Yeah. So yeah, in 2000 my book was a real hit in the sense there was no internet, nothing else.
Yeah.
And the first time people saw Indian subjects being painted. So that made a difference.
like Indian subjects being painted and being presented very well.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a very systematic way, you know, people could learn from whatever you had presented also.
Yeah.
That was the very beautiful part of it. Very simplified way the information was presented. And I think one of your book has exactly the same process in which you teach. I remember on Tilak Road when you were teaching.
Yeah, that is landscape
classes,
step by step.
Yeah. So that actually teaches step by step all about washes and everything. So those who want to refer, you can please refer to his book also. You were supposed to come up with ebooks also.
Yeah, I mean, many of them have already been converted in ebooks.
Okay. So friends, if you want, even an ebook is available right now.
On Jyotsna Prakashan, I mean, you'll get them on Amazon also, but Jyotsna Prakashan, you can see the whole bunch on one page. Figures?
And actually, I don't know how. There are times when you feel that he's randomly splashing some color, or But I think it's over a period of years. I mean, so many years of doing this. He is stopping some places when it is wet. He doesn't want to do things there. He's allowing it a drying time. In the meantime, he's working somewhere else. So there is a little bit of planned way of working also, which comes naturally to him because he's been doing so much of work. Whereas maybe an amateur might hurry up and paint in some place and he may have a bleed in that place. So if you're observing him keenly, you can even see his pace between doing a wash there, waiting for it to dry, then doing the next one. Anything else you want to add?
No. Is there any questions from anyone? I can answer.
They want to know about your books. His books are available both on Amazon and
jyotsnaprakashan.com.
Jyotsna Prakashan. I will type it later in the chat. So if you go to Jyotsna Prakashan on their website, you will be able to see the whole lot of books, both the hard copies and the e-books. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right. There is a person, GP Mistry. She is asking, you're keeping this palette and your pad at an angle.
Yeah. So
is there any reason for it?
Yeah, the reason is I like to paint as vertically as possible. And no, this palette is just a support. The one I'm using is horizontal, but my pad is at an say 60-70 degree angle, so that I face it from the front. I'm not very comfortable painting on a horizontal surface.
for his video demos and all, you should join his workshops, or maybe on his Instagram. Sometimes he does go live, so you can follow him there. Your ebook doesn't have any.
Yeah, one of the book has, no? So
They have video demos.
they're supported by video demos.
Okay.
Not the ebook, but there are links which will take you to the.
So there are some links given in the ebook which you can access and watch the demos. You use a combination of both, leaving paper white also and using opaque white also.
Yes. It is always a combo.
It's not that he's only leaving the paper white or only using gouache. The basic rule is anyways there. Leave as much as white or light
As
possible. This is really brilliant.
Thank you.
मजा आ गया। Namrata, I don't understand your question, but I'm going to forward it to him anyways. But she's asking, is this okay to use color scheme in initial level of watercolor? I don't understand what.
Yeah.
Can you rephrase your question? We are not able to understand what you're trying to ask.
See the color schemes are complementary, split complementary, analogous. Yeah. So you can decide the plan initially, but general process in watercolor, one has to be little open to change the plan. So if that answers your question, I don't know. Or are you rephrasing your question?
She is a beginner in watercolor, so she wants to know.
No, that's fine.
Maybe you can start with a limited palette or monochrome and then experiment with colors, more and more colors.
No, I would not suggest that. I would suggest you go with all colors. Don't bother about color scheme at this point if you are a beginner.
Okay.
All right. Beautiful. हाँ ऐसे थोड़ा ग्रे थोड़ा ये क्या लग रहा है
Same.
टाइम अप
So we have time,
नो आई मीन
but I think it's done. It's beautiful. Ashish Kumar is asking, sir,
Yeah.
when do you know when to stop?
Yeah, after somebody tells me, most of the time. So today, the people around me are telling me, oh yeah. Yeah, that's a real difficult one. So, खाने जैसा. See, if you are in a place like Barbecue Nation, having a lot of food around there, and you're
ये भी
in,
खा लो, वो भी खा लो.
we don't know when to stop. So, a similar situation happens here. We tend to overeat. Done.
Awesome.
Thank you. Oh, thanks.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
That is the
People want to know your next workshop details.
They will be posted on Instagram soon enough.
Please follow him on his Instagram. He'll be sharing more details there.
See, it will be something around mid-April, the weekend around mid-April, and will be posted on Instagram in a week's time.
So I'm showing you a close-up right now. This is absolutely brilliant. Huh? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was an amazing experience.
Pleasure
Visual
watching,
treat.
and it was pleasure
Yes.
doing it. And see, this I mean, for the people who are participating in your competition, I hope this was inspiring enough. So sometimes what happens is the photograph has an interesting shapes, but not interesting tones. Sometimes it has interesting colors and values, but maybe the shapes are not the way you want. So you have to take your freedom. So if you see, I have not changed much, but I have changed. So the transition comes from here, if you notice it. So doing a thumbnail is very important.
Yeah, I think I should show them your thumbnail too. So this was the initial sketch he did before he started the painting and doing a drawing on the paper.
So what do you mean by transition coming?
Transition coming is like you see a photograph, and if I directly use the photograph and do a painting, it will be I am translating whatever is in the photograph in a painting. If I try to deviate from it, that will be a contrived effort. You can do that. I mean, you can take elements from photograph and do your creative vision. That's absolutely fine. But it shouldn't be in a very contrived, in the sense, compulsive way. It has to flow naturally.
Naturally.
So this is a very, very, very important stage.
The thumbnail sketch.
Yeah. So when I do a thumbnail, I actually am transported to that place in my imagination.
Okay.
And I am thinking of possibilities. So when it usually happens with me, when I am doing a thumbnail even in a pencil or color or whatever, I am completing a painting in the mind.
Okay.
So then I have in subconscious mind, you would say, like completing it again. So I have a fairly enough guideline where I am going, not in a conscious way, subconscious way only.
Okay.
You know,
A big thank you from all our audience and from Hina Bhatt Art Ventures.
Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure to watch you work.
Yes.
And yes, you've been a true inspiration to all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.